Hi everybody, I wanted to give you a kind of a brief tutorial on how to move course content from your Blackboard course into your Canvas course. One of the things I recommend doing is if you have the ability to export an entire course worth of content and import it into Canvas. However, as we've discussed, it can be a little messy doing that. So one of the suggestions that we've come up with is to actually move your course files separately from your course tests and things like that. So you can see I'm in a course here in Blackboard now. This is actually one of our professor's government classes, and you can see that this professor has chapter PowerPoints here for every chapter of the book there. Also includes several exams and information there. Of course, the syllabus and course calendar and all these things are located here as well. So there's a lot of activities, a lot of discussion items. There's a lot of files and things like that that we want to move. So the quickest way to do that, again, we'll do this in two parts. So the first thing that I want to do is actually move the course files. All right, so I'm not really interested in all the stuff, the activities and things in the course, just the files. So the easiest way to do that is to go down here to the control panel area in your course, and you'll notice that you have this content collection area. If I click on this to expand it, then I can choose the actual course here. This happens to be Government 2305 and T3 from this summer. So I'm going to choose that, and it's going to take me into a screen that's going to show me all of the files that are associated with this course, all of the PowerPoints, and there's actually a couple of pages here. If I choose Show All, there, it's now going to show me every course file that's out there. Okay, there's documents, PowerPoints, PDF files, the works. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to be able just to download these files. So I'm going to click on this top checkbox up here above everything else that's listed there, and you're going to see that it's going to highlight everything that's there. Now you'll know that looks like a course information from fall of 15. I don't want that. That's just some extra files that I really don't want. I just want the files that are currently used in the course. So I'm going to deselect this particular checkbox, and notice how all the rest of them are checked. If there are certain files that you don't want to bring over, you can just simply uncheck them here. Okay, in this case I want all of the files there that are remaining. So I'm going to go ahead and keep all of those, and then I'm just going to scroll down here and choose Download Package. Download Package is going to give me then a file folder. It's actually working now. It's going to download to my download area all of the files that I've requested into a zip file. And it's going to be in my download folder. Okay, so we'll let that work. Once it's there, I'll be able to get to it in just a moment. Okay, so my next step then, after I've downloaded the package there, is to actually import this material into my new course in Canvas. All right, just the materials. So I'm going to go to my Canvas course. In this case, I'll go to my demo course here. I'm going to scroll over here to Files, and I'm going to upload this folder. So I have to go to my Downloads area. It's important to remember where your things are saved whenever you save them. And I'm going to scroll down until I find that zip file, that Government 2305 zip file. And it should be in here somewhere. It's in alphabetical order. There it is right here. So there it is. You can see the date and timestamp. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that file. It's a zip file, so I do want to expand it, which means that it will basically unpackage this folder with all of its files into my files area of this course. Once I've done that, it'll take a few moments depending on the size of the folder and how many files are in there. But once it's done, then I will have all of the course files successfully moved from my course in Blackboard into my course in Canvas. And from there, I can arrange them into modules and different types of content. There we go. There are all my files. Voila. Okay. If I want to move over all of my other content in terms of tests and things like that, I go back to my course here. You notice that this professor has several exams and tests and things. I don't want to recreate all of those in Canvas, but I can move them successfully from Blackboard into Canvas. To do that, I'm going to use my course export tool. Okay, so in my control panel area, this time I'm going to go all the way down to Packages and Utilities, and I'm going to choose Export Archive Course. There. I'm going to choose Export Package. And many of you have exported course materials in the past. This is going to be mostly the same. Once I see all the things that I can export, traditionally you would just select all and bring everything over. I don't want to do that this time. Again, I brought my files over already, but I am interested in bringing over any discussion items, any announcements and discussion items, and my tests. Okay, so those are important to me. I want to bring those over. So I want to select just those tests, discussion items, and announcements. Okay, and I'm going to choose Submit. And the way it works in Blackboard is, of course, it's queued. It'll have to be completed before you're able to see your link here. But you can choose this little refresh button. And after a moment or so, your course link will appear here. So from here, I can right-click and save link as. And I can remember where I saved my file. I'm going to choose my download folder. And there's my export file there. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. All right. Once that's completed, I go back to my course. And this time I'm going to choose in my course, I'm going to choose my settings folder. And over on the right hand side, you'll see where you can import content into this course. So by choosing import content into the course, it will allow me to select Blackboard 6789 export zip file. Because this is coming from Blackboard, I'll want to select Blackboard. And then I'll simply choose my file that I've exported. So back to my downloads folder I go. And now I'm going to find that zip file of that exported course. So just scroll until you find it. Export file, Government 2305. There's my date and timestamp. I'm going to choose that file. Choose all content. It doesn't matter because I know specifically there's some things I'm bringing in. And then simply import. It'll take it a moment to do its thing, to import the announcements, discussion items, and the tests. So give it a minute. And it should come right over. There. It isn't the fastest thing in the world, but it does work pretty quickly. There. Sometimes you'll see some issues, some broken links and things like that that appear maybe in the announcements messages. I can address that once I've brought it in. Okay, so now you'll notice, of course, I still have my files here that we just brought over. Okay, but also you'll notice that I do have in my quizzes area all of my quizzes that were brought over from this class. And you'll notice that I also have, if there's any discussion, well, there's a mandatory discussion board assignment that did make it over. And then any announcements that I had should also be in here as well. These can be edited and updated or deleted or whatever I want to do once they're in here. But now I've got something I can kind of work with the files and some of the activities and items that I want in my class. So we'll leave it at that for now. Our next step will be to build the modules and actually build the pages and content and put those files to use. So until then, have a great day.